Raging Bolt versus something with Arvin and Ursaluna. Probably, I mean, my guess would be Mega Absol. Mega Absol versus Bolt. Do start, maybe not. All right, predictions up. Appreciate the raid there, Doom. Hope the tournament went smoothly. Also appreciate the sub there, Focus Josh. Welcome to the pack. Oh, it's Lunatone Soul Rock. It is Raging Bolt though, right? It's got to be Raging Bolt. Luna Rock Bolt. I've actually never seen that. I haven't even hit anyone on ladder playing this. By the way, why is it a thing to start the stream in round 4? Because that's just what they do. Gotta be a production cost thing. And then they start day 2 in like round 3 of rounds on the day. All right, there's the energy attached to the Soul Rock and Pass. Actually, I think it might be Grimmsnarl here from Nick. The Shaman in the deck. Wait, oh, wait, no. Oh, it's the Bunny deck. Oh, this deck plays Trolley? So it's Froslass, Munkidori with a Lopunny line. Interesting. Okay. What is the Lopunny for in this deck? Is it just like extra to like have? Isn't this to do with working hours? No. I don't know where this rumor got invented from. It has nothing to do with working hours. You can pay people to work more. It's a budget thing. The more they have to work, the more you have to pay them. Well, we got the turn 1 Trolley here off the Arvin. Who's favored here? I have no clue. I have no clue who's favored here. Okay, so going wide with the Munkidoris and has to decide on this last choice. I mean, I think you go to the Snow Run. I think double Snow Run, double Munkidori plus Benaria would be fine. Oh, it's actually going Yveltal. I don't like this. I don't like this lone Snow Run here, to be honest. This thing is just gonna get picked on. Like, you got to get double Snow Run here. All right, there we go. River Charm to the active Badoo. Play around the Soul Rock. Dark to the Munkidori, and then there's just the Itchy Pollen. So the Badoo won't go down to a Soul Rock hit here, but a Parent just has... Oh, hold on, we don't have much, but... There's draw 3. Found a Grass Energy to cycle. So if we can find a Grass Energy or a boss here, I think we'd much rather just KO... the much rather just KO the Snow Run this turn, to be honest. But it's got to come from the boss. The Prime Catcher's not going to be enough. You just retreat to the Soul Rock. I don't even know if you should punch the Badoo here. You just give... I guess you set up a 2-hit still. Yeah, maybe you have to, actually. There's not 3 Munkidori set up there for Nick, so... Let's have plenty of Dark Energy in hand, though. Nick can sit on this hand for a little while. Oh, no, we don't have a... We have to go into the Lily here, because we don't have a Froslass. I say attaching darks to Munkidori is kind of all you have to do here. There we go. Into Lily. Looking for Froslass. But honestly, even if you don't find it, you're still feeling pretty good about the situation, I feel like. And it might just be I mean, if we find the Froslass this turn from Nick, it's just kind of a Badoo spam type game, the way it's lining up, to be honest. So I appreciate the 5 gifted there. Steph in the red, welcome all to the Rat Pack. I appreciate the support. Indicate with weakness and monkey? Not quite, no. You'd be a couple damage short. But it's pressuring the Soul Rock here, it looks like, which makes sense. We did find the Froslass as well, so we have that damage ticking up on the Lunatone and the Ogre Pawn. Yeah, this is pretty brutal. Like, sheesh. This is, like, pretty bad. Oh, man. There's the Badoo for 20. And yeah, we can KO this Soul Rock next turn with Munkidori damage. That's the only setup attacker. The pressure is going to start building up on the Ogre Pawn as well. Boss KO Snow Run last turn would have been a super good play from Perrin. Obviously, we didn't put that together, and now is in a, I don't know, a pretty awkward spot. Yeah, just the punch. KOs the Badoo. I mean, gets a prize card here, but about to lose our only attacker setup in play. Yveltal gets pushed here initially from Nick. Damage gets ticked up. We can get, if we can get into Badoo this turn plus set up the third Munkidori, like, sheesh. See fully what Nick has here, though. I see the Poffin in the hand. There's second Badoo in the deck as well. It's eyeing up the Artisan as well. I feel like giving Artisan to Perrin would be a misplay, though. Yeah, then goes into it. See the Duck in there as well, so it's playing all the deck cards. Shaman the Duck. Do number 2. Why is Froslass not affected by its own ability? Because it says so. Like, the ability says it isn't. Yeah, Artisan could give an owl. I mean, I think you probably know here as Nick that the owls do not exist. Seeing Soul Rock and Lunatone in the Raging Bolt deck means it's pretty unlikely they exist. All right, Munkidori number 1. Oh, you could have just KO'd it here. I guess it's like more damage efficient to do it this way, though. 20 over to the Ogre Pawn. And then, do we have a third Dark Energy? Ooh, not quite. Actually, the hand is also dead. So if Perrin can chain together a couple KOs on these Badoos, and Nick doesn't get a good prize card, there might be a comeback line here from Perrin. But there's a lot of supporters prize, and it looks like a Lily a Lily was pulled off the prize card, so I think Nick will be doing just fine. As he's put into play here from Perrin. That is just another liability on the bench. So I think a 4th Sada has been found here. With 0 ancient Pokemon still. Here comes the cycle. Another item card. We don't have 2 grass. Oh no, hold on. We do have the Sandy Shocks. That is an ancient Pokemon. But the price trade is lined up so well here from Nicholas. You can just KO the Grass Ogre Pawn, the Sandy Shocks, and then the Lunatone, or the Fez and the Lunatone, and the game's just over. You have to take your prize cards in a certain order when you play in person, or can you grab it random? You can grab it random if you want. No, she can use Fez, but do KO'd took the knockout. A whiff on the... Alright, I actually would concede here, I think, if I'm Perrin. Because this could go... It is possible game 2 or game 3 goes long if Nicholas goes through like a retreat lock win condition. Yeah, if we had a KO here, you could have maybe stuck it out, but without a KO here, I think you should definitely concede here as Perrin. Back it up, go next. Way too far behind at this point. Just a Lily here from Nick, so little bit slow out of that hand, but it's fine. I wish we want to find a dark energy here. We're just looking to set up our third Munkidori, continue the damage spread to the other side of the field. Solrock got KO'd by Badoo. Badoo KO'd the Solrock. Solrock's weak to grass. Pronounced Perrine, by the way. Okay. Appreciate it. Perrine. All right, 3 gets moved to the active from the first Munkidori. I think we should load some damage on the Fez here, to be honest, with the second Munkidori. Should move 3 off the, yeah, from this to the Fez. It's overloading the active. I don't really like the overload on the active. This just feels unnecessary. And it, like, plays into, like, a potential, I don't know, like Penny or Turo or something from Perrine. It feels like unnecessary to overload the active here. I don't like that from Nicholas. I'd rather see the damage get spread out just in case of some kind of damage removing play. Does he want to retreat lock the Fez at some point? I mean, if Fez and Ogerpon both get KO'd at the same time, Nick wins the game. So it doesn't really matter. Even moving damage to the Sandy Shocks is better than just putting more damage on the active. The damage to the active, I feel like, is just overkill. Like, all that damage should have just gone somewhere else. The retreat locking of the Fez isn't a real play anymore because you're so far ahead. If it does happen, that means you've basically won the game. So looks like maybe they messed up a little bit of the damage on the teal mask, but fixed it. Or forgot a little bit of damage. All right. Got a KO on the Badoo with the teal mask. Still staring down a very formidable board. There's a Night Stretcher top deck here from Nick. So Nick going into Badoo again, or maybe some kind of Yveltal play, or honestly just benching a Snow Run seems fine as well. We do see the Badoo get recovered here, so item lock will be reestablished. Will we see a third Dark Energy for the third Munkidori? Has some Ionos in hand, so could play a supporter. Ultra Balls as well. There is the Iono. Azul, I've been keeping up with the game for months. Do you think the meta is going to widen with Phantasmal Flames, or is it going to stay similar to the last format? No clue. Haven't really thought about it. What is the Sandy Shocks deck? Raging Bolt? Yeah, it's Raging Bolt. We just haven't seen a Raging Bolt. And now all of the Sada here for Perrine are on the bottom of the deck. How many turns does he need to use Badoo? I mean, in this game, you probably Badoo every single turn of the game. But in other games, it would be different, possibly. Until maybe the end of the game, Nick would look for Ursaluna play, but Ursaluna's prize, so you probably just attack with Badoo every single turn of the game, as long as you can. I don't know how much recovery Nick plays. We're already down 2 Badoos and 2 Night Stretchers. And by playing the Lopunny in the deck, I assume it plays, like, less... Badoos than like normal Froslass Munkidori decks, or like recovery for them, so. Oh, does have a counter catcher here and is thinking about using it. Maybe bring up the Sandy Shocks here. Save it to combo with Yveltal on the next turn. We go off the Lunatone here. Try and trap that in the active for the turn, just to make things a little bit more awkward. And I guess you could KO the Cornerstone here as well if you really want to. Moves 2 over there. What does it have? 180 on it? We should have moved. Wait, 180, 190. Oh, I guess sure. Just KO it. Why not? Nick is playing Froslass Munkidori with Lopunny. Why trigger Fez? There really isn't a good reason, to be honest. It was definitely a mistake there from Nick. Definitely a mistake. But we've seen so. I mean, I think. Yeah, definitely a mistake. Oh, also KO the. Well, I'm KOing the Lunatone's fine if you're gonna take the KO anyways, but definitely a mistake to give Perrine access to the Fez. All right, activating the Sandy Shock's ability. And then has attachment for turn. So you can attack with Sandy Shocks. I think it does like, what, 220, and then you can't attack next turn, right? There's the Fez draw. Area 0 Night Stretcher. Boss is in hand. I mean, Boss KO Froslass here could be a play. That's probably the play here, actually. Is to KO that. That removes all the damage. That's the damage engine for the deck. 200 can attack? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Perrine's thinking about it. Reconsidering, but I think that's your only play here is to go after that Froslass. Concedes. Doesn't even go for it. I feel like we could. I don't know. Nick did not have that much damage. If you KO the Froslass there, Nick was kind of running out of damage. And that's like why I did want to see Nick try and get 2 Froslass set up, because the potential of losing only Froslass in play was just so devastating that it gave like a good line from Perrine, but Nick can wait until he can Blood Moon plus Counter Catcher. Well, his Blood Moon was prized still, so that might have been tough. Also, if Perrine plays some kind of hand disruption card, it could have made it hard for Nick to find it, even if it wasn't prized. Why now suddenly? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying too. I don't know why we're conceding now if we didn't concede earlier. Like, I mean, it's better to concede. Well, I don't even know though, because I felt like there was like a potential line there for Perrine at that point to go after the Froslass. I feel like at the point, like I would like to have seen Perrine scoop sooner, but now that we stuck it out to this point, I feel like okay, maybe something had developed there a little bit for a potential line, especially with like the, I don't know, the sloppy damage placement from Nick. I feel like I didn't love how Nick was like going for KO so aggressively. Not only is it inefficient because you're getting less Froslass damage turn to turn. Overall, the damage is inefficient, but you're also making your Ionos weaker for yourself. So that means your draw supporters are just becoming weaker and weaker every knockout you take. So yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Nick's damage placement and like the damage ready in general. But I felt like once we got to that point for Perrine could have gone for the Gus KO. All right, Perrine does choose second here. He's going to be looking for an aggressive turn 2 attack. Makes sense. Nick did find the turn 1 Snow Run, so there's the potential of the turn 2 Froslass. And then we see a Nest Ball coming in here. Looks like is going to go after a Munkidori. Why play Sandy Shocks? In the late game, it's like it can be like a better Ogre Pawn in terms of energy acceleration because you don't need the energy in hand. It gets the energy at the discard pile, so it's like a more consistent on-board energy recovery. Yveltal and Maractus? Yeah, apparently I did that. I did see the Maractus, and we definitely saw the Yveltal last turn, so it is playing both. pop bundle here or just remove Badoo if attached in bundle, surely? I mean, we have the option, right? Ooh, also Nest Ball here. Yeah, we already have the turn 1 attack here for Perrine. That's a good question. I kind of don't hate the KO on the Badoo because it puts a lot of pressure on Nick to find a way to move. Well, I guess you could always hard retreat the Munkidori, but then it's one less dark energy in play for Nick. Yeah, I don't know actually here, to be honest. If we should pop bundle or not. I kind of don't hate the KO on the Badoo though. Because item lock, if Nick can like chain item lock here, obviously Squawkabilly being the choice here from... I'm not sure I like the Squawk. That's such a big liability. We're going to have to like put a teal mask in play anyways, or probably a teal mask. So I wouldn't have hated to seen Perrine just get a teal mask and like accelerate off that. The hand isn't that good besides the turn 1 attack, but I don't know, Squawkabilly is such a huge liability against Froslass. But now Nick's 2 prize card, or you can get like 4 prize cards from like Squawkabilly plus an Ogerpon, and then Ursaluna a Raging Ball to like win the game or something like that. Can also be trapped. Yeah, it can also be trapped, true, and can't attack back as well as something like a Fez or Teal Mask or something like that. I think there was merit to KO, but it was only worth 1 energy. I mean, if you bundle here, though, as Perrine, though, Nick is just going to send up Munkidori, right? Like, you never sacrifice a Snow Run. So you're always expending 2 energy anyways. The possibility of not being item locked next turn is, like, pretty tempting. Okay, we did find ourselves the Teal Mask. There's the Chien Pao. I think we actually want to try and hold this Chien Pao, because that's like a really good way for us to get rid of liabilities. If we can find Area 0 into a Chien Pao combo. But we do also want to play this Earthen Vessel to go get some grass energy for the Teal Mask. So we should probably Vessel away the Fighting or the Lightning, depending on what's prized. Also, like, benching the bundle and not using it would be fine, but Perrine here decides to go with the bundle use. I mean, Nick here needs to send up Monkey. Sending up Snow Run is always a throw. Because the Munkidori is only usable if Froslass is in play. Okay. Very good. I got nervous for a second, though, because Nick was thinking about it for so long. I was like, I mean, you always send up Munkidori here. No, I do not like this Chien Pao discard. I feel like the Chien Pao is such a big deal for potentially bumping stadiums later on. Or bumping your own Area 0. Being able to go wide, bump Area 0, remove liabilities. Really don't like that discard there from Perrine. Should have been the Lightning or the... I think there was Lightning and a Fighting in the hand. Depending on what's prized, one of those should have gone to the discard pile. It is Prime Catcher here from Perrine and the Raging Bolt. Alright. And KO. Discard off the bench. Discard off the active. By Munkidori. I think the more I think about it, I like the Badoo KO more. Because if you need to break the item lock eventually. Well, I don't know if that's true. If you just find Sadas, you should be fine. Yeah, you don't need to break the item lock to get energy access, actually. Alright, there's a Lily in hand here for Nick. Also has the Night Stretcher for like a potentially Munkidori recovery if you want. Prize cards there. The Maractus is prized. There we go. Has Team Evo in hand. Is deciding to shuffle it back in that. I could have burned that there or put it in play to potentially use. I actually would have hated to see the Team Evolution get attached to the Munkidori there, just in case, depending on how you draw, you might want to commit to Team Evoing out some Froslass. That is another adjustment I want to see here from Nick in this game as well. I want to see Nick get 2 Snow Run into play. Because we do need to play, like, we need to play around Snow Run getting boss KO'd. Like, that's, like, one of the best plays you can do from on Perrine's side of the board. So, definitely want to see Nick get double Froslass into play here. Or, like, play towards it at the very least. But last game completely just, like, gave up on it. Did not even try for it. And there was no, like, Snow Run's prize or anything like that. I don't know how thick of a Froslass line it is here from Nick. It might just be, like, a 2-2, but still. We did find the Froslass, and we found a Snow Run. I mean, this will tell us where Nick's mind is at. whether or not the Snorunt gets benched, but the Snorunt should 100% be getting benched here. For sure. No questions asked. Slam it. Oh, Countercatcher also found here for Nick. So we could see Countercatcher on Raging Ball to force Perrine to have a way to retreat. Or Sada. I guess you can bring up the Squawkabilly as well. Is Squawkabilly just better, actually? Maybe Squawkabilly is just about as good. Yeah, I guess Squawkabilly is just as good. And you can't just attach to it twice to attack with it. So it should be Squawkabilly bring up here from Nick. Goes for the Raging Ball. Yeah, definitely should be the Squawkabilly here, but it's not a huge difference. I guess you take away the ability for Perrine to attack with the Squawkabilly, though. No bench on the Snorunt. Yeah, I guess, like, Motivate. Yeah, Motivate is, like, something to, like, play around there. So maybe this is better, actually. I can see it. Are these both matchups either play one hand put a lot of reps into? Probably not, no. It's not a deck you'd like hit on ladder very often or anything like that either. But it's not like Nick... There's nothing crazy here for Nick to decipher about Perrine's deck. It's just Raging Bolt. So Nick really doesn't have any... Like, Nick doesn't have any excuses for, like, not... Like, the side of the field where it's, like, questionable as to whether or not... that was a good top deck there. I think Perrine top deck the Sada. So we will get a KO here on the Badoo. Like, Nick... Yeah, like, it's just, like... it's just a Raging Bolt deck. Like, this is how you play against Raging Bolt with Noctowl or, like, any other big basic deck with a bunch of abilities. Like, Terra Box, you play the exact same way. It's nothing different. So on Nick's side of things, like, he has all the knowledge he needs to win this matchup, whether or not he's played against this deck ever before. Which he's probably never played against Raging Bolt, Soul Rock, Lunatone, but it doesn't really matter. It's not anything new that you have to decipher. What is the reason for not benching the other Snorunt? I mean, whatever it is, it's not good enough to not do it. So it definitely is a misplay from Nick to not do it. Oh, we actually see the counter game come down to the active. Doesn't leave it open for the air balloon. So Mind Bend here actually doesn't seem terrible, to be honest. But Perrine is definitely a little bit different. Perrine's definitely more in the unknown than Nick is here. There also isn't... I mean, I definitely want to see a little bit more haste from the players as well. There's only 20 minutes left. Like, if Perrine wins this, there's, like, no time for a Game 3 right now. But same thing on Nick's side of the field. Like, if you could definitely lose this game as Nick. So there's, like, a lack of urgency from both players, for sure. The urgency is lacking. Baneri gets played down here. That is a way that Nick can be pretty aggressive in the matchup. You can use, like, Lopunny into Ursaluna. We do see second Froslass in the hand as well, so you can start racking up the damage. Yeah, definitely don't give up the... Was about to discard the Ursaluna there? That's like our... Potentially one of our... Actually, maybe that doesn't actually work. If Perrine gets a knockout this turn... Perrine gets a knockout this turn, then if the Lopunny goes down, then you just kind of lose the game. So maybe you could have... Well, but I guess if the Mind Bend sticks, then you can go into Lopunny and then go into Ursaluna at the turn after. So maybe this is better. This is probably better. You see, you already have to ask for time on stream. Usually you can't see... There's no, like, visible clock, but you can just ask the judge and they'll tell you how much time is left. Most of the time, there's not a visible clock. You have to ask the judge for the hookup. All right, there's the attach to the Baneri. Although I think Nick's hand might be dead there. Maybe not. Oh, it might be dead, though. It might be dead. Okay, moving some damage over with the Munkidori to the Teal Mask. And then there's the Mind Bend for 60. But Perrine has many mobility cards in hand. Has Penny, I think Prime Catcher. Might even have Nest Ball for Latias or Latias in hand. So... Mobility is, like, the one thing Perrine has plenty of. The question is just, what do you do? Actually, Perrine just has all the options here. Oh, there is an Iona in the hand there for Nick, yeah. Ooh, I don't know if I like this from Perrine. I feel like we should go after the Baneri in this situation. For the current board state with Baneri on the bench, I feel like the Baneri is the bigger target here over the Froslass. Normally, the Froslass is a very good target for Perrine to go after, but in the current board state, I actually think this is a mistake. And the Lopunny is a little bit scary. I guess we're not discarding too many energy to take this KO, though, so we're going to have a decent amount of energy still built up in play to respond to the Lopunny. Maybe this makes more sense. Maybe this is fine. Maybe we're not scared of Lopunny here as Perrine, to be honest, the more I think about it. Yeah. In my head, I was like, it's got a lot of HP, but we're going to have a lot of energy in play here from Perrine because KOing the Froslass isn't worth that much. So, no, this is actually probably the better play from Perrine, actually, the more I think about it. At first, I didn't like the... Well, in my head, I thought we were going to have to expend a lot more to get this KO, which would leave us more vulnerable to the 330 HP of the Lopunny. But that's not really true, to be honest. Gonna recover some grass energy, cycle with the Teal Mask. And it also has the Sandy Shocks on the bench as well, which is very... It's like, actually, if we just don't discard energy off the Sandy Shocks can just respond to the Lopunny instantly and KO for weakness. So this is actually looking... The more I think... Yeah, for Perrine, this is actually looking really, really good. There's the KO. So now I feel like Nicholas has to do something different. I feel like Nicholas has to, like, go back into Badoo. I feel like we have to go back into Badoo here as Nick. Maybe try and do some Maractus or Yveltal countercatcher play, something like that. I feel like attacking with... And we see the Baneri get pushed here, so we don't plan on attacking with Lopunny. I would assume. I guess you could use the second attack for 2 energy. Froslass gets reestablished, which is good. There's an Ice Stretcher in hand, so we can get Badoo with that. And there it is. Oh, going for the Snow Run, actually. Okay, I actually don't hate this, depending on if we have more outs to it. And then into the Iono, it looks like. Yeah, I don't hate the recovery on the Snow Run if Nick has a decent amount of outs to Badoo in the deck still. Should Perrine search for Fez? Probably not, no, because it's a thing. It's a Pokemon that can get trapped in the active that can't attack. We already have one of those in the Squawk, so if we penny the Squawk and then the Fez is still one, we could just lose the Fez getting trapped in the active the rest of the game. Not mentioning Latias, there's a mistake. No, because you want to avoid having too many targets in play that can be trapped by Yveltal and Maractus. Like having just the Squawk in play is one thing, because Perrine does play Penny, so if you can Penny the Squawk, then you don't have another target in play at that point to be chased. So it's probably correct to not put any more retreat lock liabilities in play. All right, Iron Bundle here from Nick, but I don't feel like this is a really hard... Yeah, I don't think this is like a super hard choice from Perrine. You just push up the other Raging Bolts. The rest of the hand here there from Nick is not great. We're actually just going to retreat into... Is it just going to be the Mind Bend once again? It looks like it is just the Mind Bend once again. Nest Ball in the hand, though, for Perrine. Honestly, I almost feel like I want to see Nick concede after Perrine goes... Well, I guess you still have the retreat lock option. But Nick needs to stop loading up damage on the Squawk ability. Why is the Squawk ability getting the Munkidori damage there? We want to be able to trap that with Yveltal or Maractus. That's like our win condition at this point for Nick is that... Oh, okay. I think Perrine actually misunderstood where the damage should have gone. Wait. Maybe not? Okay. Looks like they're on track. We're going to see the Nest Ball here. And I think I did see a Pal Pad. I know Perrine plays the Penny. I think there's also a Pal Pad, so you could Penny twice. Maybe plays Iron Leaves as well as like another mobility card to get around retreat locking. But now there's a Latias in play, so it's another Pokemon that can be retreat locked alongside the Squawk ability. There's at least one Penny in there, and I believe a Pal Pad, but you have to find those cards as well. I can put 1 damage on Ogerpon and 1 on Billy. Yeah, I think that was a mess up there. I think Nick didn't realize that Perrine put the damage on the Squawk ability. initially he was telling her to put the damage on the Ogre Pawn, and Perrine put it on the Squawkabilly, and then Nick looked over and realized the damage wasn't on the Ogre Pawn, but didn't realize the damage got put on the Squawkabilly. So I think there is one more damage counter on the Squawkabilly than there should be here right now. Fighting energy active. Well, we need it if we're on attack. Oh no, we're gonna retreat anyways. We have it on the bench one. I say it's just set up ready to go on a following turn. Yeah, I mean, the retreat lock is still potential here, so I guess you don't really have to concede as Nick. I mean, that's a big win condition for the deck he's playing, so I don't really fault him for not conceding at this point, but it's looking like it's going to be pretty tough, especially because we know that Perrine plays Penny, and then we see the Pal Pad found off the prize cards as well. Nick, of course, maybe doesn't know that Perrine plays Penny, though, so thinks that the retreat lock line is maybe more viable than it actually is. And even if you don't know about the Penny, you maybe think... we do see the trolley top right there. That seems pretty good. Maybe if you bring up Latias and drop Latias, even if Perrine has a Turo or a Penny, then you could trap Squawk afterwards, of course. So you're not that far away from winning this game here as Nick. We do see the Yveltal getting lined up off this trolley. He's going to need some Munkidoris as well. Giving it some thought, though. I was thinking about going to the Ursaluna as well. Ursaluna seems like a pretty weak grab. I feel like double Munkidori would be the better route, but we'll see. Munkidori number 1. Yveltal, and what's going to be the last one here? Iono plus Bear KO active? No, because then you just lose the Sandy Shock. Sandy Shock just goes accelerate fighting out of discard pile, knockout, you lose. You can't KO Iono here. I guess Nick doesn't play Run Balloon. I didn't see the balloon in there. Maybe there is no balloon. Let's play a Beach Court, it looked like, though. Okay, we're not quite done. Ultra Ball coming out. I mean, you probably discard double Lily. You definitely want to play Iono here. Doesn't go for the Iono? I feel like you're just asking to lose the game. Like, if Perrine plays some counter to retreat locking... I mean, maybe the hand there for Perrine isn't too ridiculously big. Maybe it's fine. That doesn't seem correct, though. It seems like a misplay there, for sure. No, we must play Air Balloon here. Otherwise, this play is like... I mean, I guess unless Nick is, like, sacrificing the Froslass, but at that point, we should sacrifice the Baniri. But we're definitely playing to find Air Balloon countercatcher here. But I guess Nick misplayed anyways, though, right? Nick should have always pushed Baniri in case you whiff. Like, if you whiff... I mean, yeah, the Ursaluna on Nick's bench, I feel like, is bad. And then if we whiff the Air Balloon here, we'd rather lose the... Baniri. Also, Beach Court gives free retreat to basics, not stage 1s. So not pushing Baniri here is even stranger. All right, see what Nick finds here. I mean, I feel like Nick is playing as if, well, not 100%. We did find the switch there, but no counter catcher. There's an Arven in the hand for the next turn. You could switch into the Baniri here and pass. Nope, packs it up. Okay, 11 minutes left. There's actually enough time for both players to win this match, but a lack of urgency. I feel like we should have seen Perrin concede game 1 sooner. I feel like we should have seen Nick concede game 2 sooner. The retreat lock line was still available, but then you're also betting on Perrin not playing something like a Turo, probably. So I don't hate Nick sticking out game 2 longer, but definitely should have seen more urgency in the play, playing faster from both players. It would have been nice to see more urgency. Perrin should have conceded game 1 sooner, of course. Game 2 is like questionable if Nick should have conceded sooner or not. But now we're going into game 3 with 10 minutes left. Way higher odds for Perrin to get the dub than Nick. But I think it is pretty possible if both players play fast that we could see either player get the victory here still. But I mean, speed's going to be the name of the game. Also, Nick can play a more aggressive line with the deck as well. Can go into the Lopunny early and then Ursaluna pretty quickly after that to take aggressive 2-prize knockouts. Doesn't need to sit there and Froslass plus Badoo plus Munkidori plus retreat locking. You can get aggressive here and just draw prize cards fast. Of course, that's not what you want to do. But playing for the win, of course, is pretty important. A tie here for both players isn't super detrimental to the potential of their tournament run, though. I mean, X2-1 makes phase 2. X2-1 probably makes top cut. So a tie here isn't that bad. I still think there was an outfit to win game 1 for Perrine. There was, but definitely should have conceded before we even got to the point where it seemed like an out was possible, to be honest. Hazelwood deck completely cooks Dango Rocks right now. Completely cooks? I don't know. Jelly Guardia if they're not second for it, I guess. All right, Nick is going second. The hand there is pretty good for Perrine, and we don't even have to put the Squawkabilly in play, I don't think. We have Sada and a Lightning Energy and a Raging Ball in the active, so yeah, things are looking good. Can search out another Fighting Energy here off this Fighting Gong. No haste, no haste. Only 9 minutes left. We gotta go. Just get a Fighting Energy. Is this Bolt Rock variant legit? No clue, to be honest. Maybe. Too much prize checking, not enough prize taking. Doesn't end up on the Fighting Energy. Like I said, has Sada and Lighting Energy in hand, so it's all set up for the turn to attack. Just got here what switching cards does Perrine play. Prime Catcher, Penny, and Palpad. I haven't seen an Iron Leaves, but it might be in there. Okay, over to Nick. Once again, like, Nick can win this. Ooh, the hand here from Nick is not great. No draw power, I don't think. Into the Buddy Buddy Poffin. Can get Badoo plus Snow Run and start to build up the board, though. I mean, as long as you top deck on a turn pretty soon here, you'll be right back into it. Oh, yeah, Nick is just like a top deck away. I didn't see the... Wait, did they show the prize cards? Am I trolling? How far back do I even have to go? I feel like they didn't show the prize card. Oh, no, they did. Okay. Going to game 3. I want to see if the Baneri was prized, because it might have to be a Baneri line here from Nick to actually be able to keep up. Like, we maybe should see the Baneri get searched out here from Nick, just to have a chance. Like, you don't have to evolve it, but if you feel like there's a chance to be able to take advantage of that, then you can go for it. Dude, Nick is slow. Not really, no. He's just not playing fast. Y'all gotta understand the difference between playing slow and playing fast. Like, currently, Nick is just playing the game. He's playing at a fine pace of play. He's not playing slow. He's just not playing fast. Alright, the Badoo's getting beefy. Munkidori getting set up as well. And then we have the switch. The rest of the hand is just a Shaman and an Ultra Ball. So if Perrin can start to chain some knockouts here. Yeah, I get it. Alright, I'll let it slide this time. It's like the rage bait thing. Everything I react to is rage bait. Every time I call you guys out for not knowing something, it's like, you knew the whole time. It's like, alright, maybe. Alright, Artisan here from Perrine. I don't even know what you grab here. Maybe just grab another, if you have a basic ancient Pokemon, maybe to accelerate more energy into play. Is there a Baby Bolt? I don't think if we've seen a Baby Bolt here or anything like that from Perrine. Looks like maybe it was looking for something, but didn't see it. Is going back through one more time. Ends up grabbing nothing. 5 minutes. People just don't want to admit they are wrong, that's all. I mean, that's not 100% true. People just don't say what they mean in correctly sometimes the first time around. All right, we can take the knockout on the active, and we don't lose all of our energy here for Perrine. Sometimes they don't say what they mean, but they mean what they mean, but they have to then re-say what they mean. Give it one more thought. We gotta go though. Goes with the fighting to the active. Would you probably check in this game given time? No. Maybe like in like maybe just like check like one thing. Like if it's like, oh, I need this for my turn in the sequence on the first search or on the search the turn before, maybe check. I'd be like, oh, I need this next turn. Oh, there is a Slitherwing here for Perrine. All right, over to Nick. Top deck was Counter Catcher. Has access to Artisan. He's gonna go into the Artisan first. I don't even know what you're gonna get here. You maybe just get. I mean, maybe you just get Badoo so you can get into Badoo on a future turn. Perrine just discard 2 energy. Yeah, the Badoo had a Braver Charm. Oh yeah, there is a balloon. That is true. Grabs the Iron Bundle. Okay, gonna try and be disruptive here. It looks like is gonna be the. And then into the Ultra Ball. We're just going down to a 0-card hand here from Nick. Getting a Froslass to the bench. Sacrifices Snowrun in the active. Are they forced to wear those bracelets? Yeah. It's like the thing to show that you like are allowed to be at the tournament, basically. Proves your entry. Proof of entry. If Perrine can actually find a counter to the Artisan on this next turn, then you only need to take 3 knockouts. If Nicholas can't actually top deck or find another basic Pokemon. So finding a Stadium on this next turn from Perrine is actually like a really big deal. Oh, also the Solrock can just KO the Snowrun here. The Iron Bundle here is just actually super weak from Nick because all Perrine needs is a fighting energy. I feel like that's just like not even worth it. Okay, we gotta go fast here from Perrine though. Only 3 minutes left. Finding a counter Stadium would be huge. Because if Nick can use Artisan 2 more times, Perrine has to take 5 KOs. But if Nick just top decks like energy over the next 2 turns, then Perrine can win by just KOing 3 things. But we need to see Perrine play fast as well. I don't think we're gonna have enough time in this one though. Ogerpon gets searched out. I think there is a Sada in the hand that is about to get played, but it's gonna be a little too late. What I mean by prize checking is cringe. Both players spent a minute plus in game 1. The whole unwritten to have 9 seconds to prize check ends up encouraging mid skill to play without urgency. I mean, them prize checking. I mean, there's so many other flaws to their play besides prize checking though. Like, also nothing is forcing them. No one's forcing them to prize check. I don't know. That seems silly. Like, just because you can miss, like, we should remove play. We should limit. I'm not saying we shouldn't get rid of the rule. But your argument being like people miss by the rule not existing, people misplay more is like a silly reason to remove a rule or to enforce a rule or to make a rule. People will misplay less if we add this rule to the game. There's so many other flaws to their play if they're trying to maximize their win percentage in this game specifically outside of prize checking. Like, and even if them prize checking was the only thing that they messed up, that's still on them at that point. Seems like an overinvestment into what the players are doing. Oh wait, we had the Chi and Pow. Oh, I mean, there's only 1 minute left, so it doesn't really matter. But Perrin had the Chi and Pow, or Perrine, excuse me, had the Chi and Pow. We could have bumped the Artisan. Wait, that's how it works, right? Yeah, Perrine had just played faster. We had Ultra Balls in hand as well, so we were guaranteed the Chi and Pow. If we just had Chi and Pow, if we just went Chi and Pow attack there as soon as possible, we maybe actually win that. And there was a counter catcher top deck for the first top deck. But now with 40 seconds left, and Nicholas at least gets 1 more use out of this Artisan. Starts with the Artisan use, gonna get 1 more basic. Now Perrine needs to take 3 KOs. We could counter the Artisan next turn. "15 seconds left though. Gonna grab Badoo, gonna counter catcher up Lunatone. Yeah. It doesn't matter. At this point, it's done. It doesn't matter who ends up on the next turn. There actually was a line there for Perrine that actually could have worked with how little time there was left going into game 3. Yeah, with how little time there was left going into game 3, there was still a line available. But we see it kind of all like stack up as the game progresses. Like the first 2 games, both players could have played faster. Perrine could have definitely should have scooped game 1 faster. And then, I don't know, once again, I go back to like game 2. Nick maybe should have conceded game 2 faster. I'm actually not 100% sure about that, to be honest. Whether or not Nick should have conceded game 2 faster. But I definitely kind of lean towards it. But you still should have played faster in the first two games to give yourself time for more time for game 3 as Nick. Yeah, unfortunate to end in a tie, but I mean, that's why we need the urgency. That's why you need some urgency.